The 2013 flash floods that swept away thousands in Uttarakhand is still fresh in the memory. Worn-out posters of missing people can still be seen on the walls in parts of the state. The Uttarakhand High Court had directed the state to halt any construction within 200 meters from the bank of any river in the state, but illegal constructions still dot the riverbeds. And it is not just Uttarakhand. Other parts of the country have also witnessed a drastic jump in tourist footfall and an increased pressure on local infrastructure. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, tourist spots are bursting at the seams. And this phenomenon is called over-tourism. Globally, countries are now taking steps to protect their tourist spots. Starting January 2023, Venice will charge day trippers between $3 and $10 to limit tourists. Last year, Italy had banned cruise ships from entering Venice following years of warnings that waves generated by them were causing irreparable damage to the foundations of the flood-prone city. Amsterdam and Barcelona have banned new hotel developments in their respective city centers to fight back over-tourism. Half a world away, India's neighbor Bhutan will reopen for international tourists on September 23rd after 2.5 years. The Himalayan kingdom also tripled its sustainable development fee it charges visitors to $200, up from $65. In India, the travel and tourism sector was a $194.3 billion market in 2019, contributing 6.8% to GDP and employing 40 million people. But it comes at a cost. The impact of over-tourism can be social, economic, as well as environmental. According to a 2017 study, major problems associated with tourist overcrowding include alienated local residents, degraded tourist experiences, overloaded infrastructure, damage to nature, and threats to culture and heritage. Over-tourism leads to congestion of public spaces in city centers, rise in real estate prices, loss of residents' purchasing power, commercialization, and environmental deterioration, including waste, noise, air quality, and water quality issues. Rising disposable incomes, young population, and a growing interest in adventure activities are driving tourism demand in India. But India has a poor track record in sustainable tourism. While it has improved its overall rank to 34th position in WEF's Travel and Tourism Competitive Index in 2019, its rank under environment sustainability has been 139, 134 and 128 respectively in 2015, 2017 and 2019.
It is unfortunate that tourism has to reach a stage where we have to restrict. It's kind of counterintuitive. You create demand for a place and then you tell people, oh no, we don't want you to come. Some destinations have realized it's too much. Some still haven't realized. There is the historical aspect of the monuments that you want to see and all that. But there is the socio-cultural aspect of a destination, which if destroyed, the destination is destroyed. So that's happening as far as Venice is concerned. So will Venice have the courage to say, no, not €5. I am going to charge, 50 euros for somebody to come. That is when you truly restrict the number of guests who will come there. It'll probably drop by half. And then with that money, they can see whether through the subsea sort of engineering, they can patch the foundations and do something to keep Venice standing. Preservation of history and culture trumps satisfying sections of the population who cannot afford to go there. If there is too much tourism, it can destroy a destination. And then we call that a declining destination. Sri Lanka was heading that way. A lot of the beaches in Goa are heading that way. There is some evidence that the houseboat segment in Kerala is heading that way because you have this huge proliferation of a number of houseboats dumping whatever waste into the rivers.
India's domestic tourists increased 9 times from 270 million in 2002 to 2.32 billion in 2019, consistently constituting 99% of overall tourists. But most tourists also leave a trail of destruction. Every year, the roads leading up to hill stations across India witness thousands of vehicles getting stuck in horrible traffic jams. From trekking in Himachal Pradesh, rafting in Uttarakhand, to parasailing in Goa, thrill-seeking Indians are also leading the rapid growth in demand for adventure tourism in some of the most sensitive ecological hotspots. Popular hill destinations, particularly those in the Himalayan region, are testing their carrying capacities.
we see there is a lot of awareness among people to ensure sustainable tourism in economic terms, in social terms, and in environmental terms. What we see today as a supply demand issue, we also have to keep in mind while the demand increases, supply side also increases in the form of more destinations that are similar or equal to the currently popular ones opening up, more infrastructure development happening, and more and more options actually being made available. That being said, some very popular destinations or some very unique historical monuments or features would require a bit of control, but again, that is still quite some way to go. As a last option, there are ways in which that demand can be controlled in terms of controlling the number of rooms or controlling the number of vehicles allowed.
The effects of over-tourism are severe. Many destinations are at risk of losing their appeal as desirable tourism destinations, which helps no one. An example of authorities taking extreme measures against over-tourism is Thailand's Maya Bay. The white sand beach reopened in January this year after being closed for 3 years. The break was required for coral reefs to recover from the damage by constant tourist activities. But it will be closed again from August to September. In India, private and public infrastructure needs to catch up with the current demand and prepare for the coming decades as well. The stakeholders should act before the damage done becomes irreversible by creating a sustainable balance between visitor numbers and the conservation of natural and cultural heritage.